Hey, what's up, guys? This is Gamers Nation 1234. I am your host, Will, today, and with us we have Bawse Gamer. Hey, what's up, Bawse?
Infamous Bawse Gamer, you too. What it do?
Yeah! And with us always from the beginning is Lynn. Hey, Lynn.
Hey YouTube, iPod 1 reviewer here.
Yay! Now we also got Miss K. Hey, Miss K.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Miss K 219. Gary IND is in the building.
In the building. And we got the old Dirty. How you doing, Dirty?
What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Old Dirty, a.k.a. Dirty Blue.
Yeah! Dirty with the blue hair.
Your song been on my mind all day.
All day.
I cannot wait till Bawse Gamer plays with us.
Yeah.
On Mario Kart, so he can really.
I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet, boss.
Oh,
Lies!
yeah?
All lies!
No.
Is that right?
Don't believe it, boss. Don't believe it.
Come at you like nobody's business.
Don't
Don't mess with Lynn.
Boss, she knocked you off the board and everything, then laughed when she didn't fall
She be
off
like,
the board.
Will, I'm out to get you, Will.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
I know. I mean, like, she gets
Ruthless, I'm telling you, she's ruthless.
Like, sometimes she be making fun of me and making fun of people.
Not make fun of people.
Oh my God. Okay, Lynn. All right. Whatever. That when Bawse gets a Wii U and gets Mario Kart 8 and plays with us, just know that he will see it for himself.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he's gonna see that I'm the nicest person he has ever met.
What was that, Lynn?
I'm the nicest person that he has ever met.
All right.
Don't believe it, boss.
Hey, boss, just to let you know, man, when you get in, you get Mario Kart, always remember to slow down when I'm coming up, because I'm going to hand you off an item.
Oh, cool.
Damn.
They got something for me playing already, huh?
Oh my God! Already.
He want to introduce you to his plants and show you the new toys.
Yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah, he
He'll do
wants to
it.
show you all the items. He wants to show you all his items.
Man, Dirty. Cool, man.
Don't fall for it, boss. Don't fall for it.
Oh my. So Gamescom was this week. Actually, it started officially yesterday with a Sony press conference and a Microsoft press conference. There was also an EA, but I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
So I didn't see anything. So we don't know. I don't know anything. So if anybody else in this podcast knows what happened at EA, be sure to mention it. But I'm gonna start with the Sony press conference because we're gonna give our opinions. Basically, I'm going to tell you a rundown of everything that happened at the press conference. So basically, it's going to be like it's a shorter version of what you heard. Now we're going to get everybody on the podcast's opinion on it and what they thought of it. And in the end, we're going to see who did better, what did certain companies lack, and what did certain companies shine. So we're gonna start with PlayStation 4 Gamescom 2014. Sony first started off with Infamous Second Son First Light gameplay. This was before they actually said anything. So they showed gameplay of this DLC for Infamous Second Son. So if you haven't seen it, it is on YouTube. Then they showed a Little Big Planet 3 gameplay trailer. This is where it was kind of messing up for me, so I didn't actually see this trailer. So I just knew it was Little Big Planet and there was some gameplay in it. And then they finally showed a Bloodborne trailer, a new one, which actually showed gameplay, which makes it look like Dark Souls meets like this really dark game. I don't know. It just looks like it looks like Dante's Inferno meets
Alan Wake, maybe.
Like I don't even know. It's like Van Helsing and something, and It's like Van Helsing meets Dark Souls. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, PlayStation first off starts by boasting and beating on their chest and say, "We sold 10 million PS4s worldwide in less than 9 months." 9 months.
And they ain't got nothing to show for it.
We're gonna save that for the end. We're gonna save that for the end. So first, I want to name all the games that Sony showed in their press conference and everything that they announced in their press conference. And then we're gonna get everybody's opinion to see what do you think about all this. So here we go. Q Games is releasing The Tomorrow Children, which is an indie title, and it's exclusive only to PlayStation 4. So this game, I really don't understand what it is, but so we're going to move on. The company Astronauts is releasing a game called The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which is an indie exclusive. Well, indie, but it's not exclusive. It's a timed exclusive. And this is kind of like, oh my god, I don't even remember. We're going to move on. Next game is called Volume, which is for PS4 and the PlayStation Vita. Its release date is coming out next year, 2015, and it's an indie title. Another indie title, which is a 4-player cooperative game, which comes out in 2015, is Hollow Point. Bohemia Interactive announced that DayZ, the zombie open world game that's very popular on PC right now, is coming to PlayStation 4, but they didn't show any gameplay whatsoever. They didn't show not even a trailer or teaser. It was just a guy saying that DayZ was coming out. Ninja Theory is releasing a game called Hellblade. It showed basically a cutscene. That's all, no gameplay, just a cutscene. Tequila Works, Rhyme. They showed more gameplay on it. This one looks kind of interesting, and it's a Sony exclusive. They also announced other indie titles. The ones that I actually got, they named more than this, but it was Snow, Dreamfall Chapters, Ether 1, Cube 2, Nom Nom Galaxy. Then they went into Destiny, saying it's the most pre-ordered game in the history of GameStop. They showed a new multiplayer trailer, and then they showed that we will be getting timed exclusive DLC maps for the Crucible. There's going to be 2 of them. And then we're going to be getting the first expansion first as a time exclusive called The Dark Below. Expansion which launches in December, which is a moon mission in Destiny. Then they showed Far Cry 4. And they showed that you can play like ancestor stories, like, you know, in the place that you're at, they tell stories. The natives tell stories, and then you play the story from the perspective of the natives' story. So yeah, you're going back and you're playing the history of the world. There's also going to be you get 10 keys for Far Cry to give to your friends. So if your friends don't own Far Cry 4, you can give them the key, and then they can play with you for 2 hours. Now, no word on if your same friend can use multiple keys. So that I have no idea. Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor got a cutscene trailer, no gameplay, but it got a release date of October 3rd, 2014. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Basically, it showed a new gameplay trailer showing off what you can do inside of a cardboard box. And that's literally what I'm saying. Like, literally, it's what you can do in a cardboard box.
Boxes.
Cardboard boxes.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. It didn't show anything except for that I can shoot from a cardboard box. I can hide in a cardboard box, act like I'm a woman, act like I'm a guard using a box.
Act like you're a bush.
Yeah, so pretty much. And putting a PlayStation box on my head. So, yeah, PlayStation 4 box on my head. So, you know, that was it. Alright, then they released a reaction trailer for a new survival horror game, or just a horror game, called PT. And you can actually download that on your PlayStation 4 right now. It's basically a technical demo by Hideo Kojima. This is actually a precursor to the new Silent Hill game that's coming out. and it's gonna be Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, the guy who I think he directs the Walking Dead series, and then Norman Remus, the guy who plays Daryl in The Walking Dead, is going to be the main character in the new Silent Hill game. But this game is kind of like it's a creepy game where it's like you're constantly going into the same hallway and trying to freaking figure out what the hell to do. I don't know. I played a little bit this morning and it was so boring. Next, Sony announced something extremely cool, which is the System Software 2.0. You can share videos directly from YouTube from your console now. It's about freaking time, Sony.
Exactly.
And then they also announced Share Play option, which was something that they actually promised before the console was supposed to come out, where you can basically remotely let your friends play your game even if they don't own the game that you're playing. So, like, for example, you can play cooperative games with your friends. Even if they don't have the game, they can play the game for you if you're like stuck on a part and and you're like, I can't beat this, I need this trophy. And you got it, so you do it for me. And then, so you can do that. That is cool if it works, but it totally contradicts Far Cry, and I'll get into more about that. They also made a little short mention of Project Morpheus. This is kind of where like the stream like completely got destroyed. So there was nothing nothing about Project Morpheus. They say that you just have to test it out yourself. PlayStation Now, the beta for the UK is coming out in 2015. Which is sad. PlayStation TV got an official release date. October 13th is when it's coming out in the States, and November 13th is when it's coming out in the UK. So, yeah, it's going to be 99 euros in the UK. And they get 4 games in their bundle, I believe. Then they announced a new game called Until Dawn, a horror game, which is an 8-player cooperative game, and I'm not really sure what it is. They didn't really show any gameplay. It was just another story trailer. They showed Drive Club, and they showed the club gameplay, and the fact that there's a new app that's coming out, but they didn't show the app. They were just talking about it and saying that when you have this app, that let's say that you have a club, like let's say we as Gamerization create a club. And then me and Miss K play, but Lynn and nobody else can play right now. Since they're a part of our club, they get all the benefits that we get. So whoever played that day, they still get the benefits and whatever. And through the app, you can watch us play live from whatever we're doing. You can watch everything that the club is doing, and you can race other clubs, and then you can also challenge other clubs, and that is and that's really really cool. So
I love that.
I like that. I like that aspect.
Yeah,
Drive Club still got the same release date, October 7th. So luckily they didn't delay it again. Sony also showed off a new game by Media Molecule, which is Tearaway Unfolded, which is new worlds, new elements such as writing paper airplanes. And stuff to use with your PlayStation 4 controller, like shine light on it or like blow wind or something. I really don't know, but it comes out 2015. Then the creators of Resogun, Super Stardust, Delta, and Dead Nation, they created a new game called, you guessed it, Alien Nation, and it's exactly what Dead Nation is, but with aliens. And then the final game that Sony showed was something by Wild Sheep Studios, which is, I believe, the director is the guy who directed Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends, and it's called Wild, and it's an open-world game. And that was it from Sony. So, I'm going to start off with Bawse on this one. What did you saw it, so overall, what did you think of Sony's press conference?
Well, I think the press conference, it was pretty much the same thing you got at this year's E3 2014. It was games, we're winning, we've sold our console, 10 million sold, Xbox is not as good as us, but here are some games. And I think that I pretty much got the same feel when I saw this year's Gamescom press conference. I mean, they showed a ton of games. They showed a couple of new IPs that look more independent than anything, but I'm not mad at that. But they didn't do anything to wow us. We still didn't get any UI interface preview of what that will look like. We didn't get any new hardware integration with a lot of the things that they promised us when this console came out. So I'm still waiting on that. But other than games that was shown, which look good, which I'm going to get, it wasn't anything spectacular. And I feel like they kind of played it safe due to the fact that they're cruising now. They're on cruise control, and they know it, and they showed it. And I think it's going to take them to do a little bit more for us gamers to really be content with their lineup.
Yeah. So, like, 1 out of 10, what would you give the whole the conference as a whole?
Sony, I'd give about a 7.
A 7 out of 10. All right. All right. So that's a good score. That's it. So you would give it a good.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. So we're gonna move on to Lynn. Lynn, what did you think of Sony? What did you think of Sony compared to E3? And did you enjoy yourself? And rate it 1 out of 10.
No, not at all. To me, to be honest, and I know some people are going to dislike what I have to say, it was boring. I want to see more, as I've stated before, I want to see new IPs. I want to see unique things from Sony. You know, they started out really well with E3. E3, I was like, hooping and hollering, almost going, of course, yes! Pre-ordered it, boom, done. You know, but now it's like, okay, you know, you had the lead, Sony, you need to keep it up, we need some games here, anybody can bring out indies, and as I stated before, if I want to play indies, I will hook up my Booyah, okay? Seriously, I did not buy my PlayStation 4 to play indies. I have nothing against it, okay? But at the same time, I need games that's going to push the hardware. I need games that's going to, you know, as Bawse said, wow us. I need games like that. And Sony is failing to do that at this point. You know, and to rate it, I mean, as I said, that was very gracious of you, because I would definitely give it like a 5. If that.
5 out of 10. Oh,
I was not happy at all. And to be honest, I really didn't pay attention to all those indie titles that they were doing. I started paying attention, like 50-something minutes, you know, into the conference when they started talking about the 2.0 firmware update. You know, so from there on, yeah, I was trying to get that, but I was not happy though.
okay.
But also to point out for that game PC, it's actually more playable. So I don't know, like.
Okay, Lynn, there's a connection issue with your microphone. You sound like you're really far away.
Is it still acting up?
A little, yeah, it is.
A little better now.
I don't know. But what I was saying is
Perfect.
PT is short for playable teaser. I don't know
Yeah.
if anybody knew that.
No, I didn't know that actually. Oh my God. All right, so you give it a mediocre at best. Sony a mediocre. So
Did you
5
hear
out
me?
of 10. Yeah, that you said PT is means playable teaser.
Yeah, because my screen froze just now.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. Are you on your tablet?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's probably it.
maybe.
Maybe. All right. Miss K, what did you think about Sony's press conference, and what would you give it on a score from 1 to 10? Damn!
Wow. Oh my God.
Man, it is cold. That's cold, Miss Tiffany.
That is
I ain't even
I
mad
would
at
give. I'm gonna rate it right now. I'll probably give Sony's conference a 6.
A 6, so you give it a fair. Huh.
Yeah. The only thing that wowed me that I really liked was the share play, the system software 2.0. I'm liking that YouTube, you can upload directly to YouTube. I like that from the console itself. The games,
No.
I just have to shake my head on that one. I wasn't I wasn't. I was a little disappointed actually. I was like, I mean, I know Sony is going through their little. I think. Well, I'm gonna put it like this. I think Sony is a little cocky right now because they sold so many units and they kind of chilling. Like, okay, well, we don't have to do anything. We just sold 10 million. You know, you don't come out bragging. You don't. That's not the way to do it.
Exactly.
That's not the way to do it. You know. Okay, you sold 10 million copies, but where's the damn games at? Take some of that $10 million and make some games then. Since you
More than $10 million, I'm gonna tell you that. $200 a pop.
Right. If you balling like that, give us some games then that we want. You know, I was a little disappointed.
According to the calculator, it's 4E plus 7, whatever the hell that means. That's how.
You know what? As gamers, we don't care how many consoles they sold. I could care less what Sony sold. I want the games.
Exactly.
So no, I was not pleased. I went to sleep on the conference anyway. So what is that?
Damn! Oh my god! But
No,
I was a very generous score.
Yeah, 6 was generous because of the share play. That and the system software 2.0. I pretty much know what that entails. So I'm liking that. But other than that, no, I wasn't feeling it.
Hard drive support, Sony.
Yeah,
exactly.
Where is that?
Exactly.
Xbox got it.
You know,
What
all
about
these
the
promises.
MP3? What about the MP3 support?
Right. They haven't come through yet. You know, until they prove something to me. To me, I think Sony's a little cocky, and they're like, oh, you know, like they can't get complacent. They have to be thirsty. They have to be, you know, they have to give the gamers what they want. If they can't do that, we won't support it. Simple as that. I'm not gonna spend my money if you're not gonna give me games.
That's true.
So
but they already got the money that they want out of you because you bought the console. So
Well, we can get it right back.
you can
All we got
sell it too.
You can sell it right back. You can sell it right back. But
They need to bring the game.
Oh my god. Okay, Antoine. How do you, I mean, I'm dirty. I'm Scott. I'm tired. I'm tired. Dirty. What? Did you see the Did you see the conference of Sony? And if you did, what would you give it on a scale from 1 to 10? And did it excite you in any way?
I can't say it excited me because I actually fell asleep on Sony. I mean, basically what I did was when I was at work today, you know, I was just going through the trailers. I didn't even go to look at the press conference. I'm like, if I fell asleep on it, I might as well just go straight to game trailer. You know, I don't want to hear about them selling 10 million. You know, congratulations. I don't want to hear about that. Just show me the games. And I don't really think this generation we're going to get a lot of new IP from Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo. I really believe that. I think we just going to have to mainly look at third-party support of games and remakes. That's it. And indies.
So what would you give it a 1 out of 10 though? Based, I know you
if
fell
I had to
asleep.
stay up and watched it, I don't know. I probably gave it maybe a 5 or something like that. Maybe.
So you give it a mediocre. All right.
Yeah.
So Bawse gave it a 7, which is good. Lynn gave it a 5, mediocre. Miss K gave it a 6, which is fair, and then you gave it a mediocre. Huh. All right. Let's find out what I think about this mess. Okay. First off, I'm gonna say straight up that Sony was a horrific mess all over the damn place. Okay. Look, I know that this. Look, I'm saying this because this is just my opinion. Look, that's fine. That is fine. See, Sony did unique things. Yes, they showed indie games. Yes, but I did not buy my console to play the second-rate indie games. And I'm sorry that that's what it comes across as. I'm pretty sure that there are great indie games, but that's not what I wanted to play. I wanted to play the games that I'm used to. I understand that every company, I understand what Sony's doing. They're getting all these indie companies so that way that they can get their practice on, and that way that they have that much more exclusives or that more stuff, more studios, you know, to do this game. But the thing is that, look, you're giving me a console, and I hate to be a graphics whore. I really do. But the thing is that I don't want to play Super Nintendo games. For that, I play on the Super Nintendo. You know, for that, I'll play on a PC. It would have been cheaper if that was the indie route. The thing is that I played PlayStation to get exclusive content, and I didn't get anything except for Tearaway Unfolded, and I didn't get anything except for a promise of an app that's not. See, Sony has been nothing but disappointing ever since the release of the console. And you know what? Even though that it's the most popular console out of all of them, they are the only company that have not kept their promises. All they are is just they throw these promises at you, and then they don't say nothing. They don't. It takes them forever to do this. The console clearly wasn't ready. It clearly wasn't ready. There's so many issues, such as that you have to install a disc into the freaking hard drive, and even though Xbox does the same thing, you know, at least Xbox got exclusives. Sony, what's your excuse? The thing is that all the indie, everything that you showed, every game that's indie on here, except for 2 exclusives, due to Bloodborne and Tearaway, so that's 4 games that you showed that are actually exclusive. The rest is going on the Xbox. Some way, sooner or later, it's gonna go on Xbox. The only thing that Sony has going for it is the Destiny timed exclusive stuff.
Yep.
And that's what Sony got for it. Is that Destiny is this big game, you know, for them. And even though that they showed the System 2.0, I had issues with that as well. Because that's when the stream just kind of went to hell for me. I didn't like it broke on me.
It's the same. It's the same with IGN.
They did not give me at all any, like, when is it going to come out? Coming soon is not an answer to me. Okay? I understand that it does take time for things to be perfected. And I wanted more questions. I wanted more in-depth. I wanted more of an in-depth answer of how this works. And does it work? So I'm hoping that in Gamescom they actually show this update and they show how it works, because I don't want it to be like PlayStation Now where it sounds great on paper, like, oh my god, and then when I finally get it, it doesn't work, you know.
Right.
And so, and what about the YouTube licensing issues? Like, if I play Grand Theft Auto 5 and I want to stream that and upload that to YouTube, but I'm happening to play copyrighted music because of the car when I'm driving, does that cause anything? You know, and then Far Cry 4 completely contradicts the update 2.0. So what makes me think is that if they're doing this key thing, if they're doing this 10 key things, that means that the update ain't going to come out until after November.
Exactly.
And that is an issue. And if they're going to give us 10 keys to work with here, we may not get that until February, March. You know what? You know what?
It sounds like a microtransaction as well.
It kind of does.
It sounds like that you're going to be able to buy more keys so you can have more people, more of your friends play the game that don't own it.
I don't think it's going to... I don't think
make money.
Point. The thing is that what Sony didn't do anything that really wowed me or excited me. Sony did a lot of things. They did a lot of things, and yes, they showed us a lot of new stuff, which is indies. But to those who are not fans of indies, that's not what they want. People want to see Uncharted. They want to see all that other stuff. And I understand that indies are playing an important role this generation. But the thing is that, you know, people want, okay, I'm going to say not everybody's like this. Not everybody's like this. I'm just saying that there are people who bought their PlayStation for, you know, not only to play a game that's graphically better and plays better, and gives you new gameplay experiences on a next-generation console. But what you're giving me is a Super Nintendo. I don't want a Super Nintendo. I already got one. I got the Wii U Virtual Console for that. You know, you can play that stuff on PC. It's fine. But the thing is that console is a unique experience from PC, and I feel like they're turning it into a PC. And I don't know. I don't know. That's my thing. So 1 out of 10 for Sony, 3. It was bad. Bad. I'm sorry. Because the thing is that the only benefit that they gave, the thing is that it's hard for me to believe anything that Sony said. They didn't really show gameplay at all. And then the gameplay that they showed was so little or not exciting. It didn't make me go, oh my God. No, it didn't do that. Where was Order 1886? Where was other stuff? And I understand that, you know, these companies are still working on games and stuff like that. Maybe the focus was strictly on the European companies, and maybe that's the reason why there were so many indies. But the fact that all these indies are coming to Xbox, Sony didn't show us anything new except for the update, and that's it. That's it. The update. That was the only thing that I felt that Sony did that gave me the best thing. The rest of the conference was utter crap. And I'm really sorry if anybody out there is offended. Please, this is just my opinion. If you enjoyed Sony and if you enjoy indies, then that is absolutely fine with you. But that's not what I paid for. That's not what I paid for. You know, it's fine. I'll gladly keep the indies on the PS4. Gladly. Let it stay on the PS4. I don't care. But I also want the games that I wanted to get. And I understand that these games are going to take a while to come out because, you know, but it basically, what Sony's showing me right now is that they're showing me that the console wasn't ready. It was only ready for indies because indies are quick to make. There's so many companies. Anybody can develop for it. And so therefore, you know, I don't want to play. I could play my phone for some of those games.
That's true. That's true.
That is my issue. So we're gonna move.
It's not a PlayStation. It's not a PlayStation. It's an indie station, huh?
That's what people are calling it. Indie Station 4. That's what it is. Yeah. And you know what? And I don't have problems with indies, but it's not my thing. It is not my thing. I don't have, you know what? No. And everything is remastered or indies, and I'm tired of it. I want something new. I want new stuff.
We want games. We don't want,
Like I said, I don't think we're going to get first party new IPs from Microsoft and Sony on this generation. I don't believe we're going to get too many. We're going to get maybe like here and there, not like
last gen. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. But last gen didn't really have a lot of IPs.
Generation PS3.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. And Dirty got disconnected.
Hopefully he got disconnected. Wow.
But pretty much, when it comes to like, you know, last generation didn't really have a lot of IP. Sony was basically just sequel, and then Uncharted was new. Heavenly Sword was kind of new. Well, no, it was new. Resistance was new. You know, there was a few other things that they did, and then the Killzone series it was a sequel to an old game. Now Sony's doing Knack, and that's it.
But I'd rather have sequels to the games that we played on the PS3 and the 360 than independent games. I'd rather, like I did a video about sequels. I mean, if they're gonna dig into the crates, why don't they go back and get L.A. Noire? Even though a lot of people didn't like that game, but I like the game. A couple of the games they get. If you're gonna do sequels to the games that we're already familiar with, that were actually good games. Yeah. Rockstar has a few games that they could probably do sequels to. You know,
they can't do L.A. Noire because after that game came out, the company actually closed.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
but they can still buy the fundamental properties of it and still make a spin-off of it.
Recreate. Yeah, they're not being proactive. I don't know.
I mean, come on, like seriously, Sleeping Dogs as a remake. The thing is that it's not a bad game. It's a good game, but I don't think it's worthy enough of a remake.
Yeah.
I don't know what Sony honestly is thinking. I think that in Tokyo Game Show, Sony's going to kind of shine a little bit again because the thing is that they're actually failing their own market, which is the Japanese market.
Yeah.
Japanese market is not happy with Sony right now.
They don't have the money.
That's what it is. They don't have the money.
They don't. Microsoft and Sony do not have the money. That the 360 and PS3 broke them. When you think about the 360 and that red ring of death, what they had to go through. Billions of dollars to replace people's 360. I was one of them. You know, I was one of them when my 360 went out.
Mine broke 3 times.
Yeah, now, see, there you go. There you go. And then
that's a lot of money, you know.
And then with Sony releasing the PS3 at that high price at $600 or $700, they still
they were losing money all the way to the end.
Yeah,
they're now starting to make money. They're now starting to make money.
I think last year Sony just not started making a profit on the PlayStation 3. And if they make
Right.
anything on the PS4, it's probably a little bit. So they
Yeah.
really don't have the money to make those big budget title games. So they just throwing these remakes out just to make some money.
But Sony is making money in other things as well. Like, you know, they own the music industry. They own copyrights to music. They own the TV department's not making any money. Their computer department's not making any money. You know, so Sony's losing money everywhere pretty much.
Yeah, they are.
So yeah, so the thing is that they need to find a way to rebrand because they're not doing well in the cell phone market. They're not doing well they're not doing well anywhere. I think PlayStation is their biggest thing, and their cameras are like the biggest thing. But I just don't think that anything else that, like, the thing is that we're getting off topic when it comes to Sony. But the thing is that, like, as Sony as a company as a whole, their strategy, I know what they're doing. They're appealing to certain gamers, and they're trying to get, I guess, the PC market to come to the PS4, saying, "Oh, look, we got your games here." You know, we're open to all these games. So I feel like this is just a precursor to many great things to come, and we just don't like it right now. You know, they're letting all these indies get their, like, you know, learn how to use the software, and the next game that they come out, it may be a lot better, and there's gonna be a lot more exclusives.
But I don't think that they can bank on that, getting the PC gamers to come over, because those Steam machines are coming, and when those Steam machine comes, the PC gamers are, you could damn bet and believe that they're going to buy those Steam machines. You know what I mean? Because they're more powerful than the PS4 and the Xbox One. You can also upgrade them with graphic cards. So if they really want a home console, they're going to go towards what they're familiar with, and those are the Steam machines. So I really think that Sony really shouldn't be trying to appeal to them more than anybody, because personally, they don't. A lot of PC gamers won't admit it, but they really don't like playing on console. You know what I mean?
No,
they would rather play with a mouse and keyboard. You know what I mean? And even though I know some that do play on console, that's not where they want to be at. And they're not really fond of the PS4 and the Xbox One because they feel like it's still inferior. So
it's a downgrade to the thing that they're currently playing. So
absolutely. They can have
they can get every year. They can always. The thing is that these games are made on PC. You know, they're made on PC, and then they're ported to console, and therefore, you know, the thing is that what makes the console experience unique is the exclusives that these companies give to us, you know, and when it comes to PC, you know, PC is so open-ended with games, you know, that's perfectly fine. I feel like PC is for all types of gamers. It's just not for gamers like me, you know. It's not for me. So we're going to go on to Microsoft's press conference, and so I'm going to name everything that happened in Microsoft's press conference as I saw it, and here's how it goes. It started off with Assassin's Creed Unity, which was a cutscene trailer, not a gameplay trailer, and it still is coming out on October 28, 2014. Then they showed FIFA and FIFA 15, and it's getting exclusive content, plus an exclusive Europe-only FIFA 15 bundle, and it has 14 modes. One of them being Ultimate Team is returning exclusively for Xbox, and Legends is exclusively for Xbox One. Plus, there's other modes, but they didn't mention any of those. There is also first on Xbox, a bunch of indies that they've announced as well. So these are first on Xbox, which means that they're going to go to PlayStation 4. Space Engineer, Goat Simulator, Super Hot, The Escapist, Smite, Battleground of the Gods, Below and many more. So so those were the indie titles, and I have to say that the indie titles that they showed gameplay, and and honestly, this to me, those indie games that Microsoft showed were a lot better than what Sony showed. But I'm going to save my opinion for to the end. Okay, then they showed a Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay, and it was a gameplay mission of them playing a mission, and it was like a San Francisco, you know, Golden Gate Bridge, and showing a little bit of the technique. It kind of plays like Titanfall. There's exclusive add-ons that are going to be on the Xbox first. So Xbox is getting timed exclusives for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare first. There's also a day zero edition of the game where you can basically, if you get the game, you can download it a day early, and you get double EXP that day, and that's pretty much your benefit. But then they also announced a surprise bundle, which was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 1 terabyte bundle for $499.99. This does not come with the Kinect camera. It does come with the Day Zero edition of the game, which means you get to download the game a day before, and it's a special limited edition like art of Call of Duty. So your controller is like artsy, and the console itself is artsy. You also have a 1 terabyte hard drive built into the console instead of a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and no Kinect. So they also said that Evolve, they showed another gameplay trailer of Evolve of how a multiplayer match works, and it was the Kraken versus 4 people, and the Kraken wins, literally with a little bit of life left. They said that the release date of this game is on February 10th of 2015. That there will be an open beta only on Xbox One in January 2015. So anybody who has an Xbox One can play Evolve beta on January 2015. Then in surprising news, Rise of the Tomb Raider, even though they didn't show no gameplay, we find out that it's exclusive to Xbox One. Not on PC, not on PlayStation 4, not on Xbox 360, Xbox One. That's it.
Denny is mad.
Denny is probably mad because he has to get a Xbox One.
Very mad.
Tomb Raider is expected to release on holiday of 2015, which can be anywhere between next November. So, this game still has a ways to go before it actually comes out. There was no gameplay, but however, there was new information saying that it's using a new motion capture ability and that it's supposed to be really, really good. Next, Microsoft shows another gameplay video of a mission of Quantum Break. And this is a game where you can kind of stop time, and time kind of randomly stops, and your character can basically still, move within the frozen time space. And basically, he's like a cop, and it was really good. It was really good gameplay. Yes. And it's only exclusive to Xbox One. So there we go. Then after that, Microsoft also announced that Fable Legends is another exclusive that's coming out on Xbox One. Now, what Fable Legends is that it's a multiplayer game that is a co-op that you can play with up to 4 friends, or 5. 4 friends play cooperatively going into this map that's kind of like a maze, and basically there's also the Master, kind of like Evolve, where the person plays a villain and sets up traps for the other players. So you have to try to find this mastermind and I guess kill him. You have to find the base and try to stay alive and survive all his traps and try to kill this master. A multiplayer beta starts on October 16th for Xbox players, so if you guys want to be a part of the Fable Legends beta, make sure you sign up at fablelegends.com and then sign up for the beta if you want to be a part of that. Remember, October 16th is when the beta starts. Also, Microsoft announced a new IP which is coming out in spring of 2015 called Scream Ride, which is a game where you create roller coasters and rides and stuff and literally defy the laws of physics and basically kill people in the process. And it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's mean, but it's...
I was freaking out when I saw that. I was like, oh my god, this is...
I'm like, look, I can make my own Final Destination.
I know that.
I mean, I don't know. It looks cool, but it also is coming out on the 360 and Xbox One. And so, yeah, so spring 2015, be sure to look at it. The game is called Scream Ride. They also mentioned that if you have Forza Motorsport 5, you're getting an additional 2 new cars. And guess what? They're free. So download them now on Xbox right now. So they also mentioned that Forza Horizon 2 is coming out on September 30th of 2014 exclusively on Xbox. And they also showed their own version of Drive Clubs. And they also showed another thing called Forza Fuel. Now this one I really didn't really get, but you can basically keep track of where your friends are playing. You can play your friends' ghost avatars as they're playing. You can explore the world. It gives you freedom to look around in the world, and it looks pretty cool. It looks really, really good. Also on Xbox news. One of my personal favorites, Ori and the Blind Forest, got a new gameplay trailer, and it was a little bit more action-oriented, showing a new dash ability that the main character can do. So you can dash from using when enemies throw projectiles on you, you can dash, going from one place to the other. This is exclusive to Xbox One and PC, and it's coming out this holiday, but no specific date has been mentioned. Sunset Overdrive, another exclusive to Xbox One, comes out on October 28, 2014, October 31st in Europe, and it has an exclusive Xbox One White Bundle Edition for $399.99, which Lynn is getting.
Yay!
Yes! Alright, so Lynn is getting this. But they didn't show any new gameplay. They basically just kind of told you about what the world is. They say that you can basically build your character from the ground up, the ethnicity, the voice, you could be whoever you want to be in this game, and it is an 8-player cooperative game. They also mentioned, not in the press conference, but afterward, they also mentioned that the cooperative missions are separate from the main story missions. So you do missions with your friends, like let's say beat boss battles all together, or fight hordes of zombies, or do exclusive missions, and they put new missions in the game every day. So it is literally endless amount of content for Sunset Overdrive.
Great.
So I say that's Sunset Overdrive. That's Sunset Overdrive. Then finally, Microsoft showed some Halo Master Chief Collector's Edition and showed some gameplay. They teased a little bit of what the old gameplay looks like, and then they showed what it looks like new. They improved the sound. They improved the graphics. Supposedly, there's 100 multiplayer maps in this game together. You get Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, and you can play them in both the original forms and the new forms. As part of this bundle, you also get access to the series called Nightfall, which is directed by Steven Spielberg, Ridley Scott. Excuse me, Ridley Scott, and basically it's a live-action Halo show, and it kind of is tying up where Halo 4 left off and where Halo 5 Guardians is coming in. They also said that the ranking system for multiplayer is going to be exactly like Halo 2's ranking system, and that's for all games. So, if you liked Halo 2 and the ranking system of how it works, that's what you're getting. So, there you go. They also showed a new map called Sanctuary, which is not a new map, it's a recreation of an old map, but it's definitely a series favorite, so there you go, you got that. And they announced a new app called the Halo Channel, which you have access to watching. It's going to be on Xbox and Windows, so you can watch anything that's Halo related and things about the beta, Red versus Blue, just anything that's Halo related and stuff. They also did a partnership with 343 Industries and Twitch. They became partners for live streaming, so you can do speed runs from Halo and see all these crazy stuff about Halo. So they're really doing a lot of stuff with Halo. And then they also showed a little bit of the beta for Halo 5, what they want to do with Halo 5's beta. So they basically showed a bunch of stuff on that. Definitely a recommendation to watch. And the beta starts, it's a 3-week beta on December 29th. December 29th. So the Xbox is hooking us up with a lot of betas to play. So even though the Xbox, we have to wait a little bit for these games, at least Xbox is giving us betas to hold us over while we wait. So Xbox seems to, okay, so we already did Sony. So I'm going to start with Bawse Gamer on this because I talked a lot on this one. But Bawse, what did you think of Microsoft's press conference? How do you compare it to Sony's, and what would you give it a rating of 1 out of 10?
Well, I'm going to give Microsoft Gamescom 2014 a rating of a 10 out of 10. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you a reason why I gave it a 10 out of 10. Last year around this time, we didn't know what we were going to get with the Xbox One due to the whole DRM scandal and all that stuff that came along with it. So a lot of gamers were very skeptical, and due to the fact that it costs $100 more than the PS4, some gamers just opted out to buy the console that was cheaper. So, I mean, obviously, gamers are going to gravitate towards a cheaper console, plus it's slightly more powerful than the Xbox One, so that's why it sold 10 million. But now that that's out the way, this Gamescom conference has been nothing about exclusives, exclusives, exclusives for the Xbox One. First exclusive, Horizon. Second exclusive, Halo Master Chief Edition. Third exclusive, Tomb Raider. Fourth exclusive, Quantum Break, and the fifth exclusive, Fable Legends. Sony didn't come out with a lineup like that. They showed us a bunch of games that are going to be on multiple platforms. So it really didn't pique the interest of everybody. Microsoft did quite the opposite. And this is exactly what they needed to do. Some people complain about them buying developers to make games for their console solely. Well, so what? Everyone's doing it. That's the way it goes now. And if you want people to play on your console, you're going to have to bring exclusive gameplay to them. So it's early in the console cycle, right? These consoles haven't even been out a year yet. But we already got a ton exclusive coming to the Xbox One. This is what the gamers wanted. This is what we talked about, them listening, putting their ear to the street or their feet to the street and doing the dirty work. They did the dirty work. They put out a lot of betas. They put out a lot of game testers out there that spoke to the community, that was able to express what they wanted. And Quantum Break is one of those games that they talked about for about 2 years now, I believe, when the last time I saw it, or at least when it was initially announced. We finally got gameplay of it, and it looks really good. It looks like a game that's going to actually be able to challenge a lot of PlayStation exclusives, being that it's also a game that's going to be accompanied with a TV series. We still don't even know how that's going to interact with the game. You know what I mean? So that's exciting. That's what Microsoft brought to Gamescom 2014 is excitement, a breath of fresh air. These aren't games that are out in Horizon. Master Chief Collection is coming in another month. You know, Tomb Raider's next year. Forza Horizon is coming in a couple of months. Look how long we've been waiting for Drive Club for the PS4. That was supposed to come out early spring 2014, but it was delayed because they didn't put the effort in to make sure the game was polished. We already know what we're going to get out of Horizon. Actually, personally, me playing the other prior Horizons, I think that it looks better than Drive Club. Personally, just my personal preference of a simulator racer. But I think Sony is finally, you know, understanding that, you know what, we have to, Microsoft is finally understanding that we have to give gamers the games that they want and bring them to them at a acceptable time, rate, and frame. Because if we don't, then, you know, the competitor is going to get the edge. And that's exactly what happened here between PS4 and the Xbox One. You don't put the games out, Xbox is putting the games out, now everyone's adopting the Xbox One. I even heard on YouTube, also on the internet, that a ton of gamers who own a PS4 are traded in their PS4 for an Xbox One. How crazy that is. Who would have thought that the system that was allegedly not as powerful or can't run 1080p or can't run 60 frames per second games is the console that everybody now a year later wants to game on, who they dogged and undignified a year ago. So I think that this year Microsoft pretty much brought the heat. It's either you come hard or you go home. Sony packed it early, they went home. Microsoft went for the win. They got the easy layup. Now we just got to sit back and wait until these games come out.
Yep. Well said.
Well said.
That's it.
Well said. There we go. So we got a 10 out of 10 for the Microsoft. And a 7 out of 10 from Bawse for the Sony. All right, we're gonna go with Lynn now. Lynn, what did you think of the Microsoft press conference? And how pumped how pumped are you? And scale 1 out of 10, what would you give the conference as a whole?
Well, y'all know it's no secret how I've been feeling about Microsoft.
up until now. And, with the whole thing with E3 and things like that, and how they did not care about the gamers. They just want money, 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 money there, And so the conference actually turned things around for me. I will have to say hats off to Microsoft. And that's really big for me to see.
It really is.
Because, as Boss said, they have come with games. I was totally interested in their conference. I watched the entire conference, and I stayed glued to the TV. And there were things that interest me. And not to mention the fact that they've got what is it, three bundles that are coming out of the Xbox One. So, not only are they coming out with games, but, they're enticing us too with more hardware, so, as well as the software. So, I think that they really did their thing as far as the conference. I'm very excited, and it's like the tables have turned. Whereas I was extremely excited about Sony during E3, now I'm extremely excited about Microsoft during Gamescom. And I guess so much so that I actually pre-ordered the white console. So of course they're going to have to come out with a white Kinect. And white, I gotta complete it. I gotta complete it. But I did pre-order something over my uncle. It was actually between that and the Advanced Warfare. But the only reason why I would even consider getting the Advanced Warfare is because of the terabyte hard drive. I'm not a die-hard Call of Duty fan. So, I decided to go with what I wanted from get-go, which is the white console. So I pre-ordered that. And it's going to take a lot of overtime to pay that off. But, I'm going to do it because this is something that I want, and I'm excited for it. And it's been so long since I've been excited for a Microsoft product. And, not only that, I'll be able to play with you guys. I'll be able to play with my friends. I'll be able to play with subscribers,
Yeah, you know it.
Y'all know how we do, guys.
Hey!
I'm very excited. Very excited, and they really have earned my respect. That.
So what would you give it out of 1 out of 10?
I would say 10 as well.
So 2 10s for Microsoft. All right. Miss K.
All right.
What was your opinion on the Microsoft conference? What would you give it a 1 out of 10? And yeah. Go ahead. Take the floor.
Wow, the paradigm is shifting.
Oh yes.
It is shifting. All of us pretty much own Xbox Ones, so I have to say that Microsoft has been updating as they say they were going to update. Because every time I turn my Xbox One on, we're getting some sort of update on the console itself, and I like that. They're always doing something to make the UI more, user friendly, so to speak. So when they say they're going to do something, they do it. As far as games, all I heard was games exclusives. Even the indie games look good, in my opinion. Even though, like you said, Will, they're going to come on the PS4 anyway, but the indie games, they actually engage me. I was like, okay, all right, I'm an open-minded gamer. I'll try it, whatever. Even though it may come to the PS4, that's cool too. But the thing that sold me the most, even more, was we're getting games, and that's what we want. It's even to the point now where I may get the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare bundle and sell my Xbox One. Yeah, I may just do that.
Miss K.
Yes, ma'am.
We discussed
It's a terabyte.
We discussed this, Miss K.
But she gave but I don't know if she told you the reason, the actual reason.
Yeah.
So
Right.
So we'll let you know after. We'll let you know.
We'll let you know after the. Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Yeah, off air. But, yeah, that's. We're getting the games. I can't front. I felt like Microsoft. They're bringing it. They're just like Boss said. They're bringing the heat, and it's just as simple as that. They're bringing the heat. They're talking my language now. My language is games.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they talk my language, which is games, I'll spend my money.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as far as rating it, I will give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Okay, a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but it was incredible, I would have to say.
Right.
So all right. So 2 10s and a 9. All right. So, Darty.
Yes.
What did you think of the Microsoft press conference, and what would you give it 1 out of 10?
What I thought about the press conference, it was pretty good. It was a lot of talking, but it was pretty good for what I seen. There was a few games that I seen like I was like really hyped for, and Quantum Break was one of them. Just to see that gameplay, I was like, wow. Another game was that roller coaster game.
Scream Ride.
What's the name of it? Scream Ride.
Yeah.
Like that. When I seen that, I'm like, what the heck is this? And when they actually started showing, I'm like, oh my god, I can have so much fun with this. I can see myself building just crazy roller coasters, just having fun. I see that's the type of stuff that I like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sunset Overdrive looks like a crazy game, like Wonderful 101, where it's a lot of action and just crazy stuff happening, and I like stuff like that. So those 3 games, man, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm thinking about getting maybe the white Xbox.
The white Xbox.
That bundle. It's pushing me to actually get the Xbox One faster, but I got to look at the money because I'm like, okay, next month I'm trying, getting a PS4 and then turn around and get an Xbox One. So
yeah,
I might be living in my car. I do that. So. But I mean, Microsoft, they show some good games and stuff like that. That Halo, I was impressed with the Halo anniversary. I mean, just all the stuff content and stuff they was putting in the game, and movies and TVs and all. I'm like, dang, they really going all out with Halo collection. So I could just imagine, how 5 actually looks. You know what I'm saying? Because all we see right now is CP. But I mean, they did a good conference. They brung the games. They brung the games.
Yeah.
So 1 out of 10.
They brung the games that put a smile on my face, and I would have to give them an 8.
An 8. Okay. Yeah, that's a fair score. What did I think of Microsoft? I have to say that I think where Microsoft's press conference lacked was when they spent a little bit too much time on that FIFA. I understand that the majority of Europe are fans of the FIFA franchise, so I get why they did it. But for me, that was a severe drop. I would have also appreciated a new Sunset Overdrive gameplay trailer as well. But, that's just me little picking and choosing. The thing is, what I liked about Microsoft was their conference was telling you, we are where we game. Like, look, okay, let's compare Xbox to when they first revealed Xbox. People were making fun of them. It says the best thing that you could do about the new Call of Duty is a dog. Sports, TV. And then we had the stupid Don Matterick and all these other stupid people that were talking about Xbox, and then, oh my God, and they They embarrassed themselves. And people got mad. People got mad. They're like, and then on top of that, you're forcing this Connect upon me, and then on top of that, you're forcing all this stuff, and then you're making $100 cheaper, but I don't want the Connect and all this stuff. So all this stuff like that. Finally, when they replaced that Don Matterick with Phil Spencer, the whole freaking thing turned around. I think that these consoles will do better if young blood takes over. Now, I'm saying, look, the thing is that, look, okay, the old way doesn't work anymore. We are in a new generation. We are where there's a lot more competition than there ever was back then.
Nintendo need to take note.
Nintendo need to take note. Well, the thing is that that's what made Nintendo so special at E3. They showed all their unique exclusive IPs as well.
Yeah. Right.
And then on top of that, the tournament.
They need more support, though. They're not having.
They need more support. They do. But the thing is, but with Xbox, there's diversity. You know, now there's diversity. If you want a Kinect camera, buy the Kinect camera. If you want a 1 terabyte hard drive, they did the 1 terabyte hard drive. They listen to people now. You want a 1 terabyte hard drive with Call of Duty, and it's a Day 01 edition, and it's a special edition. There you go. You got that.
Yep.
You got that. You want a white Xbox? Get a white Xbox. Our console supports hard drives. It supports the music. You can put your music on it. You can watch movies on it. You can do Blu-ray on it. You can even though that they copied, they also have that EA access because Sony denied it. And some people are gonna like it whether or not. Regardless, it's still a better deal than what PlayStation Now is giving. Right?
Yes,
at least for right now. And then on top of that, Microsoft has all these apps and stuff. I'm using my Xbox more than ever. My Wii U and my Xbox are my number ones. I'm not even touching my PlayStation 4, and that's bad. Really bad. When they showed Call of Duty, the thing that I liked about Xbox is not only did they not focus on single player content, but they also focused on multiplayer content. The fact that they said this is 8-player co-op. An 8-player co-op game, a 4-player co-op game. The fact that I can play this adventure games with my friends now is what I've been wanting for the longest time. PlayStation is doing that to an extent, but the only game I'm seeing is Destiny. Every game that Xbox is getting, Sony is getting the same thing, except Microsoft has more exclusives. It has Dead Rising 3, it has Rise, it has Crimson Dragon, it has Killer Instinct, it has and that's all diverse. It has Forza, it had a racing game, a fighting game in the freaking launch. It was so diverse with their games, and even though that Microsoft didn't have anything, at least they didn't have anything for a while as far as an exclusive goes. At least they had a lot more exclusives than what Sony was offering at the time. The only thing that Xbox was suffering from was that price hike, that $100 difference. That's why people didn't want the Xbox One. But the thing is that when it comes with this console, they showed gameplay of games that people actually cared about. And they even showed indie games as well to those who cared for indie games. They said, look, our console is doing indie games, our console is doing this, and the fact that they took out the paywall from the gold, big major up. That means that Microsoft is listening. The fact that they update their console constantly to keep it going better. Every time when a fan had an issue with the Xbox, like, I think that Xbox installs games too slow or that they download stuff, fixed it. There's more, and then on top of that, they added trials to every single game they have now. So now you can play demos of every game that you want to play, but PlayStation can't do that yet. Do you see any demos on the PlayStation Store? What, like 6? The thing, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, they bought an exclusive. This is a company that is willing to get exclusives. You know, then on top of that, the remaster that they're getting is actually worth the money. It's worth the money. And the thing is that you can either play it the way that it was played back then, or you can play it now. The way that they remade it. There's so many things that Xbox showed, and not only did everything that Sony showed in their press conference is also coming to Xbox minus 4 games that Sony showed. But they also have Project Spark, which is free to play. They also announced betas for people to play. They showed that you can play with more than just friends. They showed a new IP. They showed a diverse game. They even showed a beta. They showed all this stuff. They literally are learning from their mistakes. They have variety. They have the games with golds where you get games for free. They gave us Guacamelee for free the day it came out.
And that's a good game. That's a good indie game.
That's a good indie game. And the thing is that Xbox is worth more than its value because now it even has Skype. I can Skype people on my Xbox. I can watch Netflix, Hulu, even though that you can do that stuff on PlayStation, Twitch, things like that. And if you are lazy, you can get yourself a Kinect and say, Xbox, turn off, Xbox, turn on, Xbox, go to Twitch, Xbox, go to YouTube. The thing is that also on YouTube, I could use YouTube on my phone and transfer that to my Xbox. I could connect my PS4, PS3, my Wii U to my Xbox and still use the Xbox features while I'm playing my Wii U. That is some amazing stuff that Xbox has. And the thing is that, you know, Xbox completely did a 180 and then did a complete 360 back to the glory days of when they were doing this. Unfortunately, I feel like Xbox is going to take the cake from Sony. Sony is now in the danger zone. Huge danger zone. They need to get themselves out now because they are literally buried. They are buried right here. Because the thing is that, look, they may have the lead right now, but the amount of people who are going to be trading their consoles for an Xbox because Xbox got more games, plus every game that you have on the PlayStation 4 is going to the Xbox. That's what my friend did. He traded his PlayStation 4. I thought he was nuts. But then when I saw this E3, I'm like, damn, he made the right decision. I own all three consoles, so honestly, I don't have an issue with this. I don't have an issue with what game goes with what console. I'll play whatever console the game is in. But I'm using two consoles more than one, and that hurts me. It hurts me, and that basically said that Sony wasn't ready to come out. Microsoft wasn't ready to come out because it wasn't able to do 1080p. But now they took the Kinect thing, gave it a little bit 10% increase. Sony still does have more power over it. So yeah, you know, there's a bunch of stuff. They also mentioned their DLC. Why this DLC is special to their console. Like, look, Sony didn't really do that. They did that with Destiny, but they didn't really go into detail with the stuff that you're getting. Right. So, like, really, 1 out of 10 on Microsoft, I give them an 8. I felt like there was parts of their things that lacked. Quantum Break was amazing. I want it. Fable Legends is amazing. I want it. Evolve is amazing. I want it even though that's coming out on PlayStation as well. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I'm not a Call of Duty fan. But I want it. You know, they make me want these games. I even want Assassin's Creed Unity now. They make me want this. Ori and the Black Forest. Sunset Overdrive. The Halo Master. Every game that they showed, I want. Even Forza, and I'm not a Forza person. They made me want to get these games. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. So Microsoft did a really good job. I felt like they did a lot better.
And I don't want the viewers to think that we're bashing, because that's not what we're about. We're not bashing Sony. We're just keeping it real and letting you know our opinions, you know, on the different conferences. We're speaking what we feel as gamers. We're passionate about gaming, so these are just our points of views. So I hope nobody mistakes this or misquotes it as that we're bashing Sony, because we're not. We're just giving you our opinions and what we thought about the conferences. So we hope that everybody respect that. Right.
We are calling out the things lacking. Because if Microsoft was going through the same predicament, or the Wii U was going through the same predicament, we would be saying the same thing about every console. Unfortunately, that's how it is. If Microsoft makes another 180 and does the DRM thing again, you best believe we will be calling Microsoft out on their shit. That's what we do.
Right.
That's the thing is that we are gamers. We are passionate, like Miss K said. We are passionate about our games. And we want the best for everybody. We want it to be a place to play. Whatever console you play on, that doesn't you know, you're a gamer. That's what we all have in common. And the thing is I want to have fun playing my games. And if I'm not having fun playing my games, if I'm not getting what I want, then I'm gonna call the company out on it. I want something to be done. I want something to change. So that's it. I don't know. But does anybody else have to say anything else on the Gamescom?
Oh yeah. I want to say, to the gamers out there that might not understand where we're coming from, you know what I mean? It's always cool and it's always good to have a different of opinion, because if you just go along with, what the consensus is, then you'll just be pretty much a puppet, or you'll just be regurgitating what, someone else says or how someone else feels. At the end of the day, if like me, I don't own a Wii U, but I've played it. I've played it extensively, and but there's only so much input that I can have compared to people that actually own the unit. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. There's nothing wrong with being humble. Like, yo, I don't know what's going on with the Wii U. I don't know how this works. So I'm not just going to open my mouth and say anything. But I think that's people, you know what I mean, fanboys, I'll call it out, you know what I mean? They would talk about a system that they don't even own and talk negative about it that they don't even own. I would never talk negative about a system. I would only talk about what the general consensus are from people that own the system. That's the only way I can have any input is from people that own it. So people got to understand that, it's not about that we don't really support Sony. We all support Sony because we have their products. But we got to call them out on their BS if they BS it, because that's exactly what they did with the Xbox One when it was announced. They actually saw what Microsoft put out and said, okay, let me put my finger up to the sky and see which way the wind is blowing. And okay, Microsoft is doing that. The gamers don't like that. We need to do this. So they did the complete opposite of what Microsoft did. So let's not be oblivious or act like that didn't happen. It was a very strategic marketing move, what Sony did. But at the end of the day, it's about games. Microsoft had more exclusives that was presented at Gamescom 2014. Sony didn't. Not only that, they also, first of all, they also should have put out a PS4 that was 1 terabyte. And run it against the Xbox One. Absolutely, and compare it, or at least have it there as well. Like Microsoft put out the Call of Duty 1 terabyte Xbox One that will be released very soon. Sony should have did that, because personally they haven't updated their UI with any hard drive software initiation or support. You can't connect your micro hard drive to your PS4 and use it as a hard drive to use to store your gameplay. You can do that on the Xbox One. The only way you can take the hard drive on the PS4 is if you actually remove it. And me personally, I don't feel comfortable going into my PS4, removing the top of it and doing all that technical work, because if I do something wrong, then my warranty's out the window. Now I have a point. You know what I mean? Whereas Xbox, or at least Microsoft, was more smarter in allowing support from day one. Well, actually, not from day one, but at least 6 months after the console was out, to be able to have a hard drive connected to it. So we're going to look at the practices of both companies and which one suits you and which one don't. At the end of the day, we all got different opinions, and it's different strokes for different folks.
Well said, Paul.
Well said.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It has to go. Look, despite what your view or your stance is on the consoles, just know that we do respect your opinion. If you enjoy the Sony press conference, I mean, that's good for you. It's just our personal opinions. We expected a little bit more, and we hope well for Sony in the future. We hope well for all consoles. I even hope well for PC. I just hope that I just want a unified thing. I don't want a war between these consoles, but I want to be able to make sure that it's fair. If a company feels like it's screwing, look, I feel screwed out of $400. Because here I am I have a $400 console that I bought almost a year ago, and I'm not playing it. And the reason why is because no games are out to suit me. And if you're telling me that all these games are delayed last minute and then moving them up to next year or whatever, that shows me that your console was not ready. It was not ready for me to play this yet, and therefore you screwed me out of $400 and literally took all that stuff away from me, and then show me something to excite me, and then never show it to me again, like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy and all that stuff. And I understand that that's not PlayStation's fault. But that's also coming out on Xbox. You know, it's not even exclusive anymore. And so like, you know, I'm sorry. But anyways, you know how I always have to go an episode and I always have to say something about a specific game that Lynn always gets a pen. Listen, there's news and it's important. Europe gets an exclusive 3DS LL in Europe. They're getting a Super Smash Brothers bundle. With a limited edition. I want it. I want it. I want it. If some people say it's ugly, some people say it's ugly. I'm like,
no, it looks good. I like it.
Yeah,
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
All the Nintendo characters on your 3DS.
Yeah,
that's some cool stuff. That's some cool stuff. The thing I don't like is the fact that it comes bundled in with the game, like a downloadable game, and I would rather have a physical copy.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. That's a game that I don't want to trade in anyway, so.
Right.
But we're not sure if it's coming out to America, so yeah. And also, a new character, well, not a new character, but a veteran has been officially confirmed from Sakurai himself. He posted up a picture of Meta Knight is making his return, and he has a few slight changes, like his hands now have metal plates on them. What does that mean? I don't know. His loop attack is now completely changed. It no longer has a glide ability. Instead, it hits your opponent twice in a loop, and then that's it. But it's a really good strategic move, says Sakurai. So I'm finally excited that they finally announced a new character after like a month of me like being tortured. I'm like, what is this gonna be in the game? Is this gonna be in the game? The game, expect the roster to come out pretty soon in September because they get it. Japan gets it like soon. They get it like the first or second week of September, and so that means that the full roster will be announced, and I will be one excited person, and I would go crazy, and Lynn is going to get a whole bunch of pennies.
I could buy my Xbox with that.
Pretty much. But I'm pretty much giving you IOUs right now because I don't have them. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Like always, this episode was kind of a passionate one. We will be doing it. Sorry that this episode was late. I was out, and I completely forgot about it, and so this was like a complete thing. But I wrote my notes and everything. So we will be having an episode on Friday talking about the rest of Gamescom, like the demos that we've seen, and we're going to talk a little bit about EA because I didn't see it yet, so I'm going to see it, and then I don't know if anybody else here is going to see it. We could talk about EA on Friday, and we could talk about the demos that we've seen, what demos like. Nintendo's going to be there, so we're going to see more Nintendo stuff, and just more stuff. So I'm excited. So thank you guys once again for watching. We are Gamers Nation. A gaming community where we talk about games. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.
Peace.
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 Bawse.
Bye-bye. I love it.